Check out the big rally in some retail names today. Kohl's, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Dillard's all posting big gains. American Eagle also higher after announcing plans to close more than 200 stores. Karen, what'd you make of these moves? Do they tempt you?
A lot of interesting moves. I mean, the one that stood out the most was the Dillard move, which was gigantic. There was a Deutsche Bank took it from a sell to a hold, took the price target from 31 to 60. Thought that was sort of interesting. Then, you know, Dillard's, though, has a gigantic short interest. I think it's something in the 90s. I was curious to find, can you borrow it? You can, but I think it's 21% to borrow. So, you know, things really got to go your way. So that's one. Another one that was really interesting to me is Bed Bath & Beyond, which I have sort of been following from afar, unfortunately not long, but talking to Jeff Mackey on this. He's an outstanding retail investor, and he really believed in the turnaround. They've done some great things. They've really rationalized their store base. Even he, who's loved the story, said, I got to take some off the table. Big short interest here as well, 67%. So I don't know if all of it is that dynamic, because there really wasn't any fundamental news. That doesn't make me really excited to jump on board, especially with this. I mean, it's the deep end of the water. It's the stock plus the long-short dynamic.
Bed Bath & Beyond, it was the highest close since, I believe, September of 2017. Is this the equivalent, in light of the notion that there's stimulus checks coming, consumers will have more money to spend, the big, successful, good executors within retail have already run up and are sitting at record highs pretty much. The dash for trash in retail, is that what we're seeing here, Tim?
Well, I mean, you know, Dillard's makes my Macy's look pretty darn good. So if we're back to, you know, outside a guy buying the scented candles, we talk about his demand profile. There's been a lot of this across retail. And when I think about the next round of stimulus checks, I would much rather own Target, but more to the point, I'd rather own Walmart. And as we talk about also the beneficiaries for e-commerce, Walmart's picking up market share, and we know that they're a long way to closing the gap on Amazon, and that's the reason you want to own it. So the reason why that multiple is re-rating, because they're stealing most of the business, I think, from a lot of the other big box staples guys on food to get people into their store ordering from Walmart Plus, and then the rest is where they're taking market share.
Yeah. Guy, do you want to comment? Tim said that your scented candles, you buy them from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Well, it's, you know, since he brought it up, I used to buy them at Henry Bendel, which had a fabulous store, obviously, in New York City, and then a great little store as well in the Short Hills Mall. And their candles were spectacular.
No 20% off coupons at Henry Bendel's, that's for sure.
Well worth it. You know, then I've moved down to the Joe Malone candles, which are also extraordinary. So if you really want to go down to scented candle, I could play with anybody. What I will say, though, in terms of stocks, you know, we play around with this, but Williams-Sonoma continues to go higher. Restoration Hardware, absolutely. I agree with Tim on Walmart. And you throw Home Depot on the back of it. And, oh, by the way, Dollar Gen, which has come off recently, I think is still a buy at these levels. So there are some retailers that are figuring this out.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.